Monday night, where you gonna be? Watching me. Yeah. Listen, I'm fired up. I don't know if you, I was like fired up. I was like, for some reason, I wanted to be here tonight. I wanted to do tonight's show. I wanted to be like, let's rock, let's get it on. And honestly, it's because of my guest. My guest, I tell you, honestly, my man is the epitome of cool. My man is like, this dude is like really chill. Um, he himself has about 100 years of metal detect. He started metal detecting 100 years ago. That's what I heard. That's what I was told. The guy don't look like he's over 50 to me. But hey, listen, he's here. My man is the proprietor and owner of Shooters and Prospectors. Chuck Smalley's here. I'm very glad to have him on the show. I want to roll this guy in. I want to get some information out of him. I want to, get his opinion and hear what's going on with my buddy.
There we go. How's everybody doing out there tonight? How are you dirty diggers working on stuff? Huh?
Digging it. So you are also the co-host of Beyond Sight and Sound with Mr. Josh Kimmel.
Josh, my partner there. We have a good time. We're middle of the highway. We like to have our folks come in and start telling us what they're finding. We keep a track on what's going on crazy in the metals market. Because come on, folks, you're digging silver. Pay attention to what we got, right? All right. And if you're lucky enough to get some gold, and especially if it starts going up around 14, 18, 22 karat, you've done pretty well. So, people gauge what you're doing by what you're finding, and some relics and the relic hunters, everybody out there, and then the gold hunters themselves. I get involved with them on the West Coast and up into Alaska. So we're different genres of detecting. You got the divers and the beach hunters and the treasure coast guys, and it's a big world of treasure hunting. Everybody likes to find treasure under our feet.
Now, you guys broadcast every Sunday and Wednesday.
Hey.
I don't know how you do 2 nights, and I try to get on the show as much as possible.
Yeah, Steve-O's a valued guest there.
I know you guys try to control me when I'm in the chat, but it's not easy to keep me under control. But I do enjoy your show. Now, real quick, you had Dennis Grettencourt on the other night. What was he doing something at the Masters? Was he?
Yes, he volunteers.
Ball washer? Was he a ball washer?
Well, he actually this time was a media guy, where he's got a big cart and he's hauling media to get out and stuff and moving them around.
Dig it. I like that.
He's done this volunteering at the Masters quite a bit, and he and Marcia go down there and they work the Masters.
I heard he took the place. I don't know if it was rumor or not, but I heard that Tiger Woods was supposed to drive the media around, and something happened, and they need Dennis Grettencourt to step in. I don't know what the rumor was. But.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. But the abilities of one is not as.
But I'm watching the show. I'm like, this guy's going to the Masters. You got to be kidding me! Because you know what, I don't golf, but I like golf. I like watching golf, but I always watch the Masters. So it was, him being there is, it's pretty cool.
Basically, he's explaining. I've never been down there around it.
Neither have I.
It's huge.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Miles
of parking and acres it covers and all the venues. You got to move back.
Big money. And I was watching some YouTube specials on everything that they do, and they have it down to microscopic things. They have the Masters planned so that it ends right when the sunlight is perfect.
Yep.
They end it right when the sunlight's perfect. They control the blooming of the azalea bushes. if the azalea bushes try to bloom too soon, they put ice packs on them. They want this place looking good.
Yep. It's
and the funny thing is, the one thing I liked, I thought was really funny, is they keep the food really cheap out of tradition. Like you can get a chicken sandwich for like $1.50, and
really,
yeah, and that's one of their little traditions that they hold.
Cool.
So,
He likes doing that, and they're down there, and then they were going down, I think, at Hilton Head, and the winds were so high they couldn't get out on the beach to detect. They did for a little bit the next day, but it was still not good. They
really?
Cut, yeah. And they're sanded in like you guys are in Jersey.
Yeah, well, Jersey, there's just nothing left there. We're not really necessarily sanded in. Some beaches got stripped, but there's just nothing left. There's just nothing there. It's, people have been over it. There's no question. It's not like the days of old where the sand, the beach loses sand and there's targets there. There just isn't.
That's
I gotta step aside here 1 second. Somebody here is coming through with an important message. I gotta see what we got here. Hello, sir.
Chuck, we've been trying to reach you about your expired car warranty.
There you go.
I couldn't do this show without Josh. How could I do this show without my friend Josh Kimmel?
All we got to do is get KG and Ringy, and then we can all three work on them.
Oh, my God. It'd be a circus.
Yeah.
It'd be wild.
Good evening, Josh. Thanks for joining us, buddy. And I'm glad you could, because you liven it up a little bit here.
Hey, anytime. When I heard Chuck was coming on, I couldn't miss it.
There you go.
So now we all know Chuck, you're the proprietor. Now, where you're in what town in Illinois? Where?
Yeah. Egypt. Cordova. Cordova.
I know, because I've mailed you stuff and it just didn't ring a bell. Yeah. So you've been owner and proprietor of Prospectors and Shooters for how many years now? 87, is it?
We started actually Shooters and Prospectors in 83.
Wow.
And before that, I was involved in sporting goods and stuff on my own. My dad had a sporting goods shop, firearms, fishing, hunting, and then he sold that off, and then I got back into it with a friend of mine, and we did the same thing. We were buying firearms. I had a lot of trap shooters, rifle shooters, hunters, that kind of stuff out here, and did that trade right up to about 2018 was the last I was involved with firearms in Illinois. They made it so difficult that for people just to do anything out here, it's like Jersey, and they just make it difficult on you. So,
well, I know I'm not a big proponent of.
I'm going to change the name from Shooters and Prospectors to Coin Shooters and Prospectors.
Yeah, I'm a very big proponent. I believe that I don't own any guns. I just feel that I'm safer without them, and so I don't know. Guns are dangerous. You can shoot your eye out and everything else. That's all I'm going to say about that.
There you go.
I do support the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. What was the first metal detector you ever used?
Gold Master by White's.
Really? Gold Master. What was the first target you ever found? Not good target, the first target.
I was on an island in Lake of the Woods. A gentleman came up, wanted me to guide him back to an old homestead on an island, which was there. Got him there. He was showing me the ins and outs of his detector. And this place literally, Steve, looked like people got up in the 60s, early 60s, late 50s, locked the doors and left everything in place. The dishes are in the cupboard.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, it's cool, ain't it?
There are Look magazines and Life magazines on the rack. Everything was there. The farm is there. and it went back to state ownership, and it was being left alone. We metal detectors, though. There was a barn and different stuff back in this. It's Oak Island in Minnesota, and he was dinking around, and he showed me how to set it up, and I'm going and I'm kind of pawing around, and the very first target, I think, was a lid to a jar. That was grass. And I was sitting here thinking, I think it was like just a jar lid. And I picked that up and tossed it into the rubbish heap. And he went around and he found a couple things and handed it back to me. And he was sitting there and he goes, "This is like a museum in here." I said, "Nobody touches it. They go in, they look, and we walk out," because it was built in 1900 on that island. And
you were there in 1905?
I was in there 20 years after they were.
20. Okay, 20. I got you.
That was 1971.
Wow. I was 5 years old.
I was over by the barn and I got a long signal. I'm working and there's some brush and stuff and I'm working on it. And I pulled a 22 1903 Winchester rifle out.
A whole rifle out of the ground?
Whole rifle out from underneath the edge. It was a barn rifle. It laid there, probably fallen over, got covered up. I hit the thing. I pulled it out. He came out and I said, "Check this out." And the clip was in it, no ammo, and it was rusted, of course. And he took it. I mean, we found it. He took it, and it went back to Iowa with him.
Damn, you lost your first find.
Yeah, it bit me though, because the outdoors and you find a gun and oh man. Yeah. And the 03 Winchester actually had its own ammunition. They had a different ammunition in 22 caliber that you had to buy. It bit, and a year later, I had nowhere to look. I didn't know of any clubs at that time, and so I got and talked with a guy, and he said, "Call Kellyco." He gave me the number, and they sent me a catalog. And the Kellyco catalog at that time was also like a monthly magazine, and there were articles and all kinds of stuff in there. So it really got me. So I saw what a White's Coin Master 4 would cost, and I think it was $349.
Holy cow.
So, that was a lot of money back then.
Yes, it was.
It was, yeah.
And I saved up, and Jill and I was working at a place in Port Byron, Illinois, and we got married, and I'm there. I'm still working, trying to save some money. And of course, at that time, boy, this is going to make everybody laugh. My take-home pay for a 40-hour week was about $125. And we lived well on that.
Right, yeah. And the price of gas was probably 60 cents a gallon.
Yeah, I think it was less than that even. I think it was like
yeah.
And I stayed up. I went down. They had a dealer listed for White's detectors in Carthage, Illinois. I drove to Carthage. I called him. I bought the White's Coin Master 4, and he taught me some ins and outs on it. And, we didn't have gravedigger tools or lesh tools or things like that. So you got a little hand trowel and you got a long screwdriver, thin. You rounded the end or put a brass tip on it so you could probe for your coins. There were no electronic pinpointers.
Right.
And I started, these guys are saying, "Well, I had a 15 silver day. Yeah, that's pretty good." If I didn't get 50 silvers in a day in some of these places, it was
really wow. So one quick question: how long of a dinosaur ride was it back to your house from there?
About 2 hours.
Okay.
It was a 2.5-hour drive to Carthage.
I got to tell you, this show's just about to go right down the tubes. We have a reputation to uphold here as being the worst show on the internet, and I'm just about to show you why we are the worst show
No,
on the internet.
Oh,
to be or not to be me.
I am. I am. I had to pop on, but I'm going to stay as long as I can. I had a really good day today. I worked out extra hard. I did therapy, and now I'm pretty much. I need a wheelchair. So we'll see how long I can sit in the chair.
So you went to therapy, and they beat you up a little bit.
Well, you know what? I woke up this morning. I was like, oh, this is a good day, and I walked before therapy. I did everything I was supposed to do. Went to therapy. Then on the ride, then you get in the truck. There's like metal detecting. You detect for 4 hours, and then you get in that truck, and it feels great until you get out.
Yep.
And then when I got out, that's when it started hitting me. But
There you go.
So you basically got in a truck and you drove.
yeah, I drove tonight.
So you're driving, yeah? Because you were saying you've been feeling better.
I drive when I'm not taking medication.
Okay.
Only
But
time.
yeah, but even that would just well, did you take the did you take the Tiger Woods route to therapy or
No,
not?
there ain't no backwoods route to these places because they're all major highways. So.
Oh my God.
No, but trust me, not long after the show is done, I may have to indulge in my medication to go to bed.
You're gonna need a cocktail. Well, I mean, yeah, but as long as you say you're feeling better, you sound better, you look better. I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
sound great.
I've got too many years arresting people for this crap that I actually take now for the pain. So I'm taking less and less and less, and see how long I can bear out.
You've only had this problem for 6 months.
Listen, I'm a slow learner.
But it's not in the back, but it's getting better, right? I mean,
Well, the problem was that the last Monday, as of last Monday, the 10 days prior, I hadn't eaten a bite. I hadn't eaten a bite to eat, almost not a drop of water. I could barely stand up. I had dropped down to about 170 pounds.
Move.
Yeah, and
that's probably all in your head because you got 170 pounds on your shoulders.
And went to the hospital, and of course I'm telling everybody this is it. This is the end. Tell everybody goodbye. And
He looks like he's wearing a smaller hat.
Yeah, he called me and he sounded like shit, and I'm like, Frank, you got to go to the hospital. And you were not with it. You were not in the right frame of mind.
I went. They took my blood and took my urine, and they said, you know what? Your potassium is really, really low.
Yeah.
I said, that would do it? He said, well, let's see. Well, by the next morning, I thought I was Superman.
And, potassium will whack you out if you're low on potassium.
No hunger. I had when I tell you I didn't have a bite to eat, I didn't have a bite to eat in over a week. Now I think I gained 10 pounds this past week.
Good.
Well, that's okay. I mean, if you need it, so.
My question is, Frank, are you getting out and walking around a little bit? Just take a little hike back and forth.
As much as possible. I don't go out unless Celeste can go with me. I'm walking around the house like a madman today. I have building to do. As a matter of fact, Chuck, your order. I'm simply waiting for the books to arrive on Wednesday because the books were ordered by my new buddy who's helping me out with the box, and they're
That's fine.
Right. We got to debut the new Ugly 2.
Yeah, so Eli is they're in his vehicle. Eli's coming down for a couple of days. He's learning how to the ins and outs of building the Ugly box because I can't keep up with him.
I got to get that book as soon as possible though, because I'm running low on TP.
I don't have a book. I don't have one. They came in.
I'm running low on TP though. I need that.
we shipped out. God, we shipped out probably over half to 3/4 of them already.
Wow, so, very good.
Yep,
very good.
We're having a good time.
Well, when you order 4 books, 3 is 3/4.
I'm going to sign yours, real big black ink, Steve.
Don't even bother. So. I want to get back with Chuck because, I want to try and, it's spring. Have you been getting a lot of calls for new from newbies, Chuck? So let's do it this way. Chuck, I'm looking into getting metal detecting. All right. I call you up. I say, I'm thinking about getting a metal detector. I want one that only finds gold.
Well, there's no metal detector that only finds gold. I mean, but if that's what you're expecting, you got to rethink your thought process is detecting. You're going to go out, you may find gold, you may find silver, you may find jewelry. You're definitely going to find nails. Definitely. You're going to find.
I want to find gold rings and gold nuggets. What do you got that's going to get me that?
Oh, I got a
Luckily for you. You've got it laying all over your yard and your neighbor's yard.
What'd you say, Frank?
I got a detector for him. Let me go work on it. I'll make sure it only finds gold. And listen, special price just for you, Steve.
And
okay, so Chuck,
I've literally had people like you, Steve, in a sense, what you just started with.
That's why I'm saying. Listen, I know it's not. I mean, I'm making a joke, but we know it's real.
Yeah, and they want a cheap detector.
Oh, that's right. I don't want to spend over $200.
Oh yeah, it's got to be real cheap.
And they say, and I'll tell them, well, number one, what's your budget, and what do you mean by cheap? Number two, your expectations of metal detecting is a little narrow if it only finds gold. We haven't developed that one yet. Your gold machines run up to 40 kilohertz, or then you jump over and you get into a pulse induction unit, and that's well above where you're supposed to start out at. Tell me what you expect to spend. What is your budget? And if they give me a budget, then I start talking to them. Well, if you got $500,
$89.
Like I said, look, I just want to get into metal detecting. I don't know what these things run. So that's why I called you. I called you to get some advice. I don't know any of these brands or whatever. I don't know anything. So what do you got for me?
I would recommend to you at this point is, now it used to be they gave us one sheets. They gave us all kinds of, they gave us a catalog. We could sit with somebody and go through it. Now you get the computer out and you go to mindlab.com. And you start showing them and talking about what's going on. And I would suggest to them, and I said, then we go to Nautica and take a look at those. And we may go over to XP, but I put that at a level kind of up and out away from all the others.
Different, yeah.
People get into the geeky side of detecting in an XP. You can tweak that thing 1,000,001 ways. So I tell
you know what it was? I tell you what, I was watching the National Geographic channel and I saw these two guys. I don't remember who they were, and they were digging and jumping up and down and screaming. I want to do what they do. I want to go and
hey.
They were so embarrassing. I had to cover my hat.
I saw that. I knew what that hat was. Finally going, Frank took care of that, didn't he?
Yeah, I might.
What I would tell them,
we got to play Switzerland, but I don't have to play it 100%.
That's right. I would tell them your expectations. You have to think, and here's what you're going to get out of it. You're going to learn how to find that stuff. It just doesn't jump in your pocket. I would recommend you spend what you can afford and maybe a little beyond that to get you in a good starter unit, not just a $99 one that you can go down to the local Menards and buy them. You can go to literally a bunch of stores and get $99 to $129 detectors. I'm not saying they won't find anything, but they're going to end up like I see so many of them in a closet drawing dust with the battery rotting in it. And you aren't getting anything out of the hobby. And I tell them, go on to Facebook, go to the Illinois, Iowa Treasure Hunter Club, go to Detect America to ask people questions.
Don't go to Detect America.
That's the important thing, Chuck.
Yeah.
Don't pop on to the guy who's got 12 followers and has everything to say. You know what? Go ask the guys like me that are walking with a walker, or Steve. You know what? The guys that have been around, because they're not going to lead you in the wrong direction. They're going to tell you the truth. Right.
Talk to people. And I said, here's my suggestions. I'll tell them, here's what's fitting about a $600 to $650 price tag. You get and if you watch, you may get a free pinpointer with it.
Right.
Ooh. And they got their summer and spring specials or an extra coil. They have
a really cool set of submersible headphones.
Yeah.
Never know.
And start out at that level. Go with the basics. Read your manuals, and then you can go online. Let's say we're looking at a Nautica triple score, which is a nice starter unit.
Yep.
Go onto their site. They have tutorials. Follow the tutorial. Go out and build a little garden. Put a penny, nickel, dime, quarter. If you've got a little 10-carat ring that you can set on the ground, watch them. Learn what they're reading. Listen to the sounds. Then learn to pinpoint. Learn to pinpoint very well. And what you need to do when you go out, you get a permission or you do a curb strip or whatever, pick up your garbage that you just dug up. It's your garbage. You retrieved it. Fill in the hole, please, so we all don't get a...
And learn how to dig those holes, too.
Right. And take care of us in the hobby, and the hobby will take care of you. And just keep working on it. I've had people literally on the first day they hunted find a gold ring. I'm serious. And different things like that, and that can happen to you, but be smart about it. Talk to people about it. See if there's a local club. Go down to the night they have a meeting and talk with people, and you'll see fines. They have fine of the month. Join your local club. You'll get some good direction. I may be the dealer in that club or whatever. We'll help you get started the right way instead of just taking off and tearing everything up and buying a cheap detector and then coming in and complaining you bought this.
Metal detecting stinks because my detector doesn't work and you paid $50 for it.
And the one good thing, Chuck, about you is you're not taught. You're not owned by any one company. Okay,
Nope.
So we know there's folks out there. I see a lot of people being owned by metal detecting companies. I see a lot of YouTube videos out there of people doing, taking a machine and doing, what do you call it? Exposing that machine and reviewing the machine.
Walkthroughs and stuff.
Yeah, and doing the walkthroughs and all. And that's good and all. But for the people that are new to this, they don't understand that some of the YouTubers out there are trying to capture the attention of the manufacturers.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, listen, I watch the reviews. I think some of the guys are good. Like I'm saying, the people that don't know don't understand that the machine may not be as good as they're saying. I'm not saying it's as bad. It's bad. A lot of great machines out there. They have their benefits. But folks are trying to do these reviews, and they're doing them for the company as well.
Just because they've got 500,000 followers in 2.5 hours on a new machine does not make them an expert.
Exactly.
Right.
But what some of them are doing, Steve, is they've got their minions that work for them out in the field. They'll go up and they'll talk about, I'm just using an example, the Legend 2. And here, I've got this. You go oversee dealer XYZ, give that to him. He'll give you a discount and sell you the machine I'm using because it's the best there is, but they don't get any explanation.
Right.
And that's what's going on. And actually over in England, they're detexperts giving out a card with a coupon number. They go back to whatever company.
And if from the company's point of view, they're getting a lot of free advertisement, more than just advertisement, free publicity, and they'll take it. They'll, and I'm not saying, hey, look, we've got relationships with a lot of dealers, we've got a relationship with a lot of metal detectors, and there's good information out there, and there's not 100% information, we'll say. I just think that folks need to be aware. And I get a lot of questions from people wanting to get into the hobby, and I do. I tell them to go out and watch some YouTube videos. I throw 3 or 4 different machines from different brands. Listen, I aim them towards Noka. I aim them towards MindLab.
Yep.
I aim them towards Garrett because I want them to know what the difference is. We've got to know where they're going to. One of the main things is, where are you going to detect? Are you going to detect the land? If someone calls you from the middle of Iowa, well, you're not going to necessarily sell them a beach machine. Go ahead.
Well, people in the middle of Iowa and middle of Illinois generally, let's put it to you this way, don't travel as much to outside areas. So sometimes they're led astray by somebody on the East Coast, sell them a detector, set it up this way, and it won't work for them here.
Right. Over here, most of the people I talk to that ask me, well, they want to hunt the beach, they want to hunt the land. And, a detector that does hunt both, we know costs a little more because it's got to be good enough to go in the salt water, and I'll explain that to them, and I'll gear them towards the Equinox.
And remember, you're a local dealer. These guys live in your neighborhood. They know the ground that you're going to be detecting on.
Right, exactly.
And
I used to love, the Knox was a great machine to aim people towards for inexpensive, beach and land machine. Some of the Nokas, the Legend's a good beach. The Legend was a great machine. I liked it. I think it was good enough for the beach. I think it was a great dirt machine and held its own in the beach. So a person that's going to want to hunt both and get in inexpensive, I was aiming them towards the Knox and the Legend, and that was back in that day. Yeah. Now we've got some different machines out there. The Xterra Pro, I'm going to throw out there, right? The
Xterra Pro, Xterra Elite. Listen, it's a damn good little machine.
Good machine. I mean, they've all got this lower to mid-range unit out there. Every company. That is a great starting point. Now, if your budget really dictates you to the beginning level, then you're dictated to that. And what I tell them at that point is learn the machine you got in your hands and how it reacts in the soil you're working, and you'll do well with it. You have to learn.
You know what, Chuck? I see these machines, these Xterra Pros, these Xterra Elites, these high mid-end machines.
Yeah.
And I think back to what we started with. And these are machines that we would have paid a lot more money for. These are better than what we called the top of the line machines 35 years ago.
Yeah. I'd have given my eye teeth to have machines like this when we started.
Exactly. I mean, because it changed doesn't mean that they aren't good machines and they're not going to find stuff.
For Frank to come out and say, like, he really raved over the Xterra, and
I was surprised. Yeah.
And I've been detecting with Frank for a long, long time, and he was really hyped up over the CTX, and he still is. We know that's a great machine, but he never really came out and was that emphatic about a machine like he was with the Xterra. So I kind of got to throw the credit his way and almost finally believe something he says.
I knew there was something up with the Xterra when this little single frequency machine was doing so good on the beach.
Right.
So I bought a $300 machine, and then I spent $400 on stuff to test it to make sure I knew why it was doing good on the beach.
I'm going to grab
and some. Beach hunters that you would normally not see mess with a machine like that were showing interest.
Exactly. But I knew that machine was hiding a little something in the beach mode.
What were you using? What was the machine you were using before the Manicord, Josh?
Equinox.
Oh, so you had an Equinox? Okay, yeah. And 800. Which one? 800?
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. And the Equinox is a great machine. I will wholeheartedly say that was super. And but
absolutely, I still use it from time to time.
There we go.
You know what? I've got guys that buy.
Does that still work? Hold on. Does that still work?
Yes, it does.
Oh, the wall hanger.
What were you saying, Frank?
I've got guys that buy parts from me, and they're avid diggers, but they're using the older machines. They're still using the Ace and everything. And a couple of them have just upgraded. They got good used 800s. And we forget what a change that machine was from some of the stuff that was out before. But these guys are losing their mind over how good it is compared to what they were using.
Hey,
It's
Chuck.
still a really good
Yeah.
machine.
Turn that on. I want to hear that
I
thing.
don't have any batteries in it. I store it without them.
You seriously? I know you grabbed that with
You
no
must know a
battery.
dealer. You must know a dealer that tells you good information, Chuck.
My battery
I heard-
isn't stowed yet, but this thing, look what it had for an ergonomic handle. It
I
was
know, right?
a drawer pull.
Wait a minute.
Is that the actual machine you used? Is that your machine, or did you
That's
acquire it? That's your machine.
Master 4B.
Oh, the 4B
The 4B.
or the not 4B? That is the question.
Yeah. And
That's a misnomer, though, because ergonomic was not in the description of that machine.
Yeah, it should have been.
Yeah.
I mean, your wrist and elbow died after 4 or 5 hours of this.
4 or 5 hours.
Oh,
of
so-
anything.
So basically, White's had it figured out long before Mine Lab did with the E-Track and the CTX.
Look at that.
This
Listen,
is
there's
the
a lot of-
oil that came with it.
A lot of us old White users had a party the day they came out with the stem handheld the handle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
See what this is? This is plastic, but see where the aluminum ends on it? This is an aluminum shaft. So you can figure you would get pretty good depth, maybe to 5 inches and 6, pretty consistent, 6-inch coil or 7. And
you dug everything.
this is and the Gold Master was about that much longer.
So I got to tell you, I mean, one of the things that kind of piqued my interest about metal detecting was you got to remember back in the day, late at night, you're watching TV and all of a sudden you see a White's commercial, White's metal detector. And it just put a little thought in your mind like, oh, I'd like to try that one day. Or, you know what I mean? I think that commercial probably got them a lot of
that
business.
came out in late 80s, that swung me to the MXT, which I don't regret at all. I still think it's one of the best machines that were out there. White's had.
There were some issues with the second generation of that.
Yes.
Not the first generation.
No. Yeah,
The first one was a
series
killer relic machine.
Loved it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was, Josh. No, but anyway, and by the time you put the batteries in this bad boy down here, it was about 7 pounds. And but you know what? I did rather well with that machine for a few years. And then I switched over to a Compass.
Oh yeah.
And I bought Jill an AH Pro backpacker. And she did well with that. And then I started selling with a gentleman out of Geneseo, Illinois by the name of Ray Grip. He wanted me to sell. I'd sell. And then I got Fisher. He had AH Pro and Compass. So we had those going. Gentleman in East Moline then started selling White. So we had the 4 major brands kind of covered. And things, the discrimination, if you turned up your discrimination, you lost depth, man. You could just dial down your depth, but you could cut out some of the stuff.
You're probably lowering the sensitivity,
Yeah.
by doing that. And
Ground balance on the old Whites, what was that? You tried to get it ground balance, it would kind of do it.
Right. They didn't have anything figured out back then. That was just a signal going into the ground. They're going to throw a knob on there to make you think you're doing something.
Now, listen, that old discrimination was fine. If you were hunting silver and you were hitting silver, you'd still hit it. But you're hitting some of those intermediate range coins and rings.
You remember then all of a sudden VLF,
Oh yeah, man.
very low frequency, came on board. And you got deep silver with that, but you had to almost weed eat with the damn detector to make it work right. I mean, literally move it. You couldn't just inch it along. You had to move VLFs.
Yeah, that was White's. I mean,
Yeah.
you naturally had to swing them
So I
fast.
think
And I'm explaining to people the transition we have made and what's out there for a mid-range machine, like you said, Frank, for $500-600, man. You've got stuff that they only dreamed about why these things were $600 then.
Yeah, I
See,
mean,
the thing is,
I look at that at the Xterra Elite. I look at what Nokia's putting out, and I look back at it. I started with the Fisher. What the hell is that machine? The one with the trigger.
The F-75.
No, before the
No.
F-75.
Oh, the ZZ.
No, before that.
Nope. It was even before the
the
CZ series.
DW 1.63.
Anyway,
Yeah,
it had one
Franklin.
frequency, but it had two triggers that you could set the two different discriminations on.
Yes.
And people used to marvel at that machine. What a concept! What a brilliant piece of technology! And I look at what I spent on that machine. I'm talking about in the early '80s, spending $900 for a metal detector.
That was a lot of money.
When I can buy twice the machine today for $5.
Well, and one
The
other
thing is,
That wasn't the no, that wasn't the 1280, was it?
Yeah, 1280X. Yep.
Okay.
Radiax, and there was a
Well,
7.
now I guess I'm showing my age.
I feel like I'm sitting at the old folks' home at Rich Fonts right now. We're listening to all these old stories. Jesus Christ.
One thing that really then turned it over was getting LCD screens.
Yep, absolutely.
And you had to be careful of the LCD screens. You had to take care of them in hot and in cold, because if you got it too hot or too cold, that screen just went all black.
Hey, Chuck, how amazed were you when they invented the telephone?
Oh, I was be the
So,
can string.
one of my points and one of the reasons why I like doing this show about talking about people trying to get into the hobby is I also want to put a seed in the minds of our viewers, because everyone who metal detects is going to have someone come to them and say, hey, I was thinking of trying to do that. And I think as metal detectorists, we owe it to people wanting to get into the hobby to be honest and truthful with them, and have our members be as helpful as we can to someone getting into the hobby, and not blowing smoke, I use the $1,800 super great machine and you should get one and I'm great. No, you can't do that. You got to try and welcome them to the hobby. And like the first thing we say is humble them, because everyone's going to say, I'm getting a metal detector. It's only going to find gold and I'm going to go make it rich, strike it rich. And, we got to understand that that's what someone getting into this hobby thinks. And we just have to be honest.
But
Tell
that's
them
not
the
the internet
truth.
problem. If the internet problem, the guy on the internet is swinging you towards the $1,800 Mind Lab or Nokia or whatever, that's okay. Yeah, you're spending way too much for a starter machine, but you're getting a good machine. The problem on the internet are these guys that are swearing up and down and sideways that there's no Banco, whatever, out of Southeast Asia is the best thing since buttered bread, and you're paying too much money. And now you've got a bunch of guys that could get into the hobby and are sticking the thing in the closet, and the metal detecting stinks because I couldn't find anything. It's
Right.
the guys
But
that are trying to swing you towards the junk.
That is one of the differences I'm saying about these people that are doing YouTube broadcasts as compared to us as members being approached by people, even when we're out metal detecting or relatives. Someone, they're going to ask us about metal detecting, and we owe it to them to be honest, tell them the truth, and help them and guide them in the right direction. And hopefully our members are understanding what we say and take our advice and be like, yeah, you're not going to say, because everyone here probably started with a cheap machine, and you're going to need to explain to them, yes, I'm using this very expensive machine now, but it's not what I started with. It's not what you can come in and start with, and
the good thing about today is that we don't. In the old days, it was okay. So you buy this cheap piece of junk, or you take out a bank loan and buy this. Today, there's a big rainbow. There's a big spray of machines that we can put people in.
We got good to start with if you listen to the people that try to direct you into it.
Right.
And, going on Amazon and buying a detector, and 90% of it's driven by cost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That'll do fine.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to throw this out there, and Chuck, I hope I'm not really stepping on your toes a little bit here, but what people don't understand is they go online and they look for a machine and they're given a price online, and they don't seem to understand that if they were to call a dealer, they can probably get a better deal than they find online.
They might. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And also,
and after the sale, customer support.
and then the dealer might say, well, look, you're going to need a pinpointer, a pouch. Now let's throw this all into a bundle. And by this time, you're actually saving them money if they were to buy online. But of course, everybody thinks that, online is gospel.
If they talk to the dealers directly, you can get that.
Yeah.
You don't see dealers advertising too much bundling unless it's been approved by XYZ.
That or
even spring bundles, summer bundles, Christmas bundles. You can get those deals.
Sell, but you can't take let's say a Mind Lab Manicore and add an acupointer and another generic pouch and this digger and advertise it, because it's all not the same company.
All right, and you're not going to be able to lower a price on a piece that they're not giving you a deal on.
Nope. So,
and online is not going to give that to you. The dealers can give discounts, and if you're going, I can't understand why. No, so I was in a store I went to Texas, and we went to this big store.
Back out of Texas?
What's that?
You said you went to Texas?
Yeah.
They let you back out of Texas.
Yeah, right after the Florida hunt.
I'm surprised.
Like trash. I went into this store, and I can't tell you what I did to the display of Dallas Cowboys shirts that were on the rack. Oh. But I'm walking around this big store, and I don't remember the name, to tell you the truth. It was famous down there. And I came across this one aisle in the back of the store, because, of course, I was looking at guns. That I don't support guns. I don't know. I just happened to say, oh, my God, look at these mean guns to kill people. And I went down this one little aisle, and there were metal detectors. And, of course, they were selling the Manicore for $16.99.
Right.
And I'm like, people don't now people walk into this store, and they don't understand that they don't have to pay that. Even because Mind Lab does discount them, but they don't discount them in the big stores, do they? No. The dealers get them at a sale price at certain periods, or if they're not, the dealers can still beat these prices. And it just, I just was wondering, like, well, anyone that comes in here and just walks in and buys one off the shelf, that's kind of maybe, it is what it is. Well,
plus they're marketing it right next to a $59 treasure tracker special.
That's true. They did. They had their cheap ones, and then there was the Manicores, and I'm just like,
the other thing that it's all about being buyer beware, caveat emptor.
Yeah, definitely educated.
Knockoffs out there that are so good.
Oh my God!
Somebody mentioned in the chat about the knockoffs of the Garretts.
I mean, they can't even go in the right
direction. Yeah. And you look at them, you can't see any difference. And there are knockoffs of the high-end Mind Labs out there, especially old pulse induction units that, physical appearance versus when you turn them on, you'll figure out it isn't really what it is.
Right.
But, the gold machines over the years, they've knocked those off out of China like you would.
How many people go online? And buy coins off of eBay? And
that's another whole story.
Well, yeah.
They've got the knockoff pinpointers that they're selling. And I had that. There was a video that was out a couple months ago that a guy bought the name brand and bought the Temu special. Took the screw out, took the guts out, and they slid right into each other like they were made for it. That's how tightly they're knocking off these things.
Yeah.
Good. Well, and the coins too, Steve.
I've seen people buying the fake pinpointers. And like, I bought it because it was cheap. I thought it would be good, and they don't detect a coin in their pocket.
Well, they all do. They all do the same thing. That's my favorite line. They all do the same thing.
There's a lot to be said for sometimes you get what you pay for.
Right.
So, Chuck,
your dealers throughout the country that have brick and mortars, and they aren't Amazon Night Stalkers.
Right.
They're the ones that went to the classes when my lab had them, and other companies, Nocta, things like that, teaching us what to look for, how to teach you what you're going to expect out of the unit you got. They have demos for the dealer to be able to pass on that information to their customers, and they make it easy for us to help you. Whereas Amazon, they're shipping boxes to a distribution point. They order from XYZ Amazon company. They put the order in, and the order ships. That guy never sees those detectors, never had his hand on.
Right, exactly. Never.
They don't
right from Asia, baby.
And unfortunately, a lot of the companies are going to that, or buy direct from us at the company. It's flat MSRP, which is fine. All you got to do is go onto our site and buy them. So the day of the brick and mortar dealer, unfortunately, is getting narrower all the time.
Well, that's unfortunate because brick and mortar was costing people so much money that it was more beneficial for you guys to move to out of your home if that's the thing, because you're doing a lot of.
They're the guys that are going to survive the longest. Is the guys that can run them out of their home and have a separate way in and have a display area.
Yeah,
I'm in 2 brick and mortar stores, one in Northern California, one here in Iowa, and I make myself available to them. They've learned, like Rudy and crew over there, they go detecting with me. They love to detect, but they also run a full line archery, firearms. I'm still not totally out of that kind of stuff, and it works. It fits real well. And then Joey out west, it's 100% gold with him. And this year, with gold being up, it literally had created another gold rush. If you caught it on the national news and that, they were interviewing people in California, Oregon, Washington.
Oh, because of yeah.
Gold machines were flying off the shelf. It's been
right. So
listen, I gotta bail. I gotta jump off. I can't sit any longer.
It breaks my heart.
Yeah. The pain is getting to the point where I can't maneuver my butt and get rid of it. So I have to go. I have to go to my favorite chair.
No,
it's good seeing you, Frank. Let me know when them books come in. I'll try to get one ordered.
They will be in my hand. They're already being shipped out of North Carolina to buyers. Chuck's and everybody's books will be here on Wednesday.
Okay.
I heard they make good kindling for campfires and good TP if you run low.
You never know.
It's made out of 2-ply paper, right?
4. I'll nothing but the best.
All right, buddy. Good night, man. We'll see you.
Kick me out. I don't have any mouth for some reason.
No, believe me, that's my pleasure. Boy, this is gonna break my heart one bit. Yeah, get out.
There you go.
So now that he's gone, thank God.
There you go. No, it's good seeing Frank.
Yeah, he does look like he's in better spirits. He's doing better. I kind of worry about the guy when from day to day. One day's different.
Yeah,
Chuck, you've been using the Manicure.
Yes.
Josh is using the. So in a time frame, I think what we've got here is, I think you've been using the Manicure the longest. Josh is running second because he finagled your contest or something. I don't know what he did from what I heard.
Yeah, I was probably the first one in the state of Ohio to have.
I heard it was rigged. That's all I'm going to say about that. And then I just recently bought it. So we got 3 different stages of users. I'm liking the machine. I mean, listen, I can't believe already. And I'm going to tell you something. I used that Deus 2. I love the Deus 2. Anybody who uses the D2 and brags about it, I'm right there with you. However, I think it, to me, I don't know if it's because I got a new machine, like a little bit of a door's been open. I want to get out and detect more. I want to take this thing out and use it. Chuck, have you anything bad to say about it? You probably paid to. Your dealer ripped you off, didn't he?
There was a little learning curve back to what, I was trying to think, well, this was like the CTX 3030. In a way, a little bit, not a lot. It has its own setup and you adjust it. I like the enhanced version of some things on the pinpointing and that, because it really, you hear the silver better, at least I do. And I run it. I've been through its modes and run through its preset programs. Then I've changed some of the discrimination windows. I haven't went through and set tone ID breaks. I use a 5-tone system.
I don't think you need to. You know what? There was a time I did that on the CTX. Yeah. I did it on the Deus. I don't know if I need to do that on this one.
No, I haven't done it yet.
You're using 5-tone because you know what? I just switched it to all tones, and I'm noticing different tones by doing that. So
that's what I run, but a lot of people, it's a little overwhelming for them with all that audio.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. You know what I'm going to do, Chuck? I'm going to tell you my little gripes about it, because my gripes may be exactly what you're saying of in part of my learning curve. First off, the pinpoint blows my ears apart. The volume of the pinpoint, if I could lower that would be amazing, because when I hit pinpoint, my head explodes.
Check that pinpoint and see if you have it set to enhanced.
I might. Is that what's making the volume louder?
Yeah, that helps me.
All right.
I need a little more volume anymore.
No, I don't need it. I don't need the volume. I'm saying when I
do standard,
it blows my head out, man. That thing is loud.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a lot louder than the regular machine, and that. So that's gripe one.
Try that. Are you having any ground balance issues in your area?
But that's the easiest thing to do: ground balance and noise cancel.
I didn't know if you feel the need for ground balance or not. I run 0 here in this particular area here.
I just do it automatic. I do it automatic. That's all.
You run a track.
And it does help. There's times I'm getting like it chatters and I hit noise cancel and it brings it right back into its lane.
Right. Stabilizes it again.
Yep. And ground balance, I guess ground balance just does it, but the noise cancel is the biggest thing. So in operating, now I gotta tell you, how do I put it? I always liked the CTX because it was on point. It gave a number. It gave a nice clear number.
Yeah.
Then the Equinox came out, and the Equinox gave good numbers, but then they started to bounce around a little bit. Yep. Some of the numbers are really bouncy. I'm finding out that pennies can be anything. I'm getting
go from your zincs.
I'm getting from 68 to 80. Mm-hmm. Anywhere in there. A penny is not a penny on the Equinox was a certain tone, a number. The penny on the CTX was a certain number, and the Deus. Now the Manicore is like, I'm like, all right, this is definitely a dime. It's a penny. So the pennies are throwing me off.
It bounces more.
Yeah. Yeah. So nickels. Whoa, nickels! I'm getting them at a number 20. What do you get a nickel at, Chuck? I'm getting 27 on a nickel.
I get 27. If you've got a silver nickel, it's up around 34.
Yeah, I'm just talking about clad. Mm-hmm. Silver, I haven't even found yet, so I can't bitch about it. Dimes. Well, so I'm getting quarters in at 88, 89.
Yep. All day.
They lock in at 88, 89, and then I was getting some 92s out in the field, and that's like a bigger piece of metal. I was hoping like, 92, that might be a $50, but it's not.
Literally, I'm going to take you back. We're going back to E-Track days. And one thing to E-Track, I ran it enough. I got to know, and we find a lot of silver dimes. We still do. If you look at the amount of silver you find, most of it's dimes. a Barber dime, a Mercury dime, and a Roosevelt dime, and the seated have a different tone value and number.
Sure, I believe it. I also believe they're different sized.
A Barber dime in the field a week ago that I found, it was 1903, ran lower than a Merc by number. I swung it and looked at it, and I knew it was 88 on the Merc, 86 continuously over on the Barber. It had that nice high tone. I knew I was onto a good target, but in the middle of that, we've got these oval-shaped farm tokens out in these fields that were handed out to the workers, good for a bushel. They ring up that quarter range, 88, 89. Yeah. So,
and also, but see, you got to don't forget the one good part about this. Now you're matching that number to your Ferris line, and that. Listen, I'm watching that what do you call it? The signature.
Yeah.
And the signature, there's very many different ones, but if you get a nice small dot, that's one of your better ones.
Yeah.
Those big lines, man, those lines, I'm getting flat lines. That's junk. So that's very helpful in determining whether to dig or not. I want to ask you a question though, because you know what I'm finding out? For some reason, I like the all-terrain high conductors the best. Either all-terrain general or high conductors. Now,
I've been using that, Steve, the high conductor out in these fields. But then I've been switching. I've been switching coils. I've been messing with it. I use the M9, and I use the stock. And just judging that field, because a lot of this has some good, these coins are deep. They get down to what we call the plow line, where the plow's not hitting anymore. And we were picking them up. So I'm trying different things to see if there's one particular combination of.
But what I want to get at here is what I'm finding out, okay, is the tones are different in those. I'm going to just go with the all-terrain modes right now. The tones are different in each different search pattern. So it's the low conductor ones that you get these weird tones out of. But I'm also noticing the numbers change as you go from one pattern to another.
You do.
What that bothers me in a way, because why? Why? So you agree that happens?
Oh yeah, yeah. If you're going low conductors in the field setting, and you do low conductors, it really changes numbers.
Right. Yeah, it's changing. So people need to know that. You need to know what mode you're in while you're detecting, because and I think the quarters might still be 88 no matter what. Once you get up to a quarter, that number sticks. Yeah. But you might get a penny, we'll say it's 78 in the high conductor mode, and in low conductor mode, it could be a 68. Now, when you're trying to learn your machine, that's really throwing you for a loop, because now I'm thinking, oh, pennies are 68. And now a 70, I'm like, okay, well, that's a dime, and you're digging up, it's a penny. So I think the users need to be aware of the fact that those numbers and tones change as you go through those patterns.
Correct.
Okay. So that's some of my gripes. I don't know if I haven't, I'm sure I can
field, and the high conductors don't change much, but the tone did into my ear in the high conductor.
Yeah.
You got a
higher pitch. Yeah.
Much higher.
Yeah. I think in the low conductor, you're getting lower pitches, it's a little weird. Yeah. I'm still just trying to fiddle with things. Like you said, there's still a learning curve, but I can also go out and dig right now and look for number versus signature on that screen, and it's kind of helpful. It is. It's kind of helpful, and I'm enjoying the machine until I put it in pinpoint mode. My friend, man, that thing is so damn loud.
You're enhanced. It's
Loud.
Just blowing the ears off.
So Josh? What are some of your gripes about it? Do you have any bad things you want people to know? Not bad things. I'm just saying some points that people need to know when using it.
Well, they got to remember, with all the bells and whistles that there are, they're just additional tools in the toolbox.
Mm-hmm.
If I had any sort of piece of constructive criticism on that machine, I don't know why MindLab would put out a $1,600 machine that didn't have shaft stops.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have what?
Shaft stops. You know, if you don't watch it when you unlock your cams, you could
I got you. Yeah.
Apart.
I like the build. I like the chassis,
but it collapses down really great for travel.
Nice, yeah.
It travels really well.
Yeah.
Chuck, are you having a lot of people break their connector on the coil? That's a problem now. These things have been breaking.
No, I have not.
I know someone who had one. All right, so
the cable end or the yoke?
No, not the yoke. The part that's on the coil where the yoke goes around. The yoke goes down.
Okay.
Around the nub on the coil, and that broke
so
off.
like the center basically coil here or whatever.
It's not as sturdy as it looks. You think it's a solid piece, but we have pictures of it. It's not a solid piece. Now,
okay, I haven't had anybody complain to me.
Okay, so but here's another thing. Here's another thing though, because people are asking me, can we 3D print ear protectors like we did on the Knox and everything else? And I'm seeing a problem on maybe printing one of those ear protectors because the coil where the wire goes into the coil is too close to the shaft.
Yeah, it's a completely different design.
Yeah, it is, and it's going to be tough to build these ear protectors to maybe stop this from happening. I just wondered if you knew of any of these circumstances that may, of it breaking. So that's one thing that people need to be aware of. But I love the build. Sure, Josh, when I go to pull it out, it pops out. But I just pop it right back. The tighteners or whatever are nice. They're nice. If you just have to set the guides on that to make it nice and tight when you close it.
Right. Yeah. The cam locks are good as long as you adjust them properly.
Don't over tighten it. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to do, but I'm sure there's people doing it wrong. The other thing I didn't really like is the Velcro strap they give you. Dude, I printed up clips for the wires on the shafts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Their
straps are cheap and easy. That makes it.
Yeah, but it's kind of gaudy. So I got the little clips that clip right to the shaft. The shaft are two different diameters, so there are two different clips. The top piece is a little thicker, the bottom piece a little thinner. But I love those little clips because they slide up and down when you open and close your shaft. So that's one good benefit that I liked. But I'm really liking the machine. I'm liking the machine.
For you, I got a question for you. Did you buy a copy of Andy's book?
Yes.
There's some good pointers.
I'm still in the process of reading it.
Yeah. I trust Andy to put out a good book.
You know what happens, Chuck?
I was supposed to have an article in there. I couldn't get it done in time before it went to print. And but Andy puts out good stuff. I hear some.
He's great. Yeah.
I said, look, this guy breaks it down. You can understand it.
He does. He's the best. And I'm getting through the book. I just have this problem. It's this thing. I sit down with the book and I'm like, I'm looking at this book and I'm trying to read. I'm trying to comprehend. I'm like, then I hear the voice. You know what it says to me? It says, OnlyFans. What? OnlyFans. Only, go on the web. OnlyFans. Look at bad pictures. I'm hearing his voice. And I look over. Okay, I look over, and there he is. He's sitting on my shoulder. The little red guy going, look at dirty pictures. And I'm like, I can't. I got to read this book. Look at, and on the other side, there's this little angel of Andy. Read my book, Steve. And I'm like, Andy, what are you doing there? Oh my God. And he went, here's the one, here's the good guy going, read my book. Read my book. You know who wins? The other shoulder. So I'm trying to get through the book. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. I'm just adding another tool to your toolbox to figure this thing out.
I'm getting through it.
A lot of good information in it.
But the main thing is, like I said, the first thing I did when I got that book, I read that manual. Now I'm going through Andy's book and I'm out practicing. You cannot take any machine whatsoever and open the box, because I got a guy hasn't even opened a box, and we're going to go to detecting. The first thing he's going to say to him is, show me how to use this machine. No, buddy, I've been telling you for 8 months you need to read the manual. I'm not showing you how to use the machine.
No. So
I don't know what I'm doing.
No.
All right, listen, we're going to cut you guys out of here. It's getting late, 9:12. I got nothing but thank you so much for this. Beyond Sight and Sound with Josh and Chuck, Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, right? You guys are an hour behind.
He's good. And Wednesdays.
Are you an hour behind, Josh?
No, Chuck's an hour behind me.
You're
but it is 8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern. Right. Oh, 8 East. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern. Right. 7 to Chuck. So Sunday night, Wednesday night, folks, get on there. We have a lot of fun in the chat.
Yeah.
And like I said, you guys got some good guests and some great topics. And Josh, I just got to tell you a story before we go. I was on Facebook today. And this is funny as hell. This guy had this dirty ring he found. He found a school ring. Dirty. It was all bent up. It was, the bottom was all misshaped. And it was a school class ring. And it was still pictured with dirt around it. The guy's going, he was asking $600 for it. It was 10 carats, 7 grams. People are like, scrap is like $350 on that, bro. And you're asking $600.
Well, see, and there again, just like with detectors, you have to educate yourself.
Yep. Detectorists are some of the cheapest people in the world. They want
the most for their stuff.
Most. This guy wanted twice. He wanted twice, and he even said. So then he went up saying he went to the jeweler, and the jeweler must have told him $440 or something. And he wants to, and he's trying to sell. I think he realized he wasn't going to get 600 because he's like, "Well, I'm open to offers." Like, dude, you found the ring. You found it, okay? And you're told what it's worth, but you want to get it. Oh my God! All you detectorists are cheap. Every one of you. I'm the same. Yeah, weed is legal in New Jersey. You just saw that. Somebody asked.
That was complimentary.
Listen, if you want me to buy you some, I'll ship it to you. I don't know. You put it in the mail, whatever. I have no interest in marijuana whatsoever. I don't drink. I don't need marijuana to be cool. My life is.
Yeah, believe it or not, Steve is naturally this way.
I don't listen. I don't. Yeah,
I had my worries with guys sitting on his shoulders. I was just
Don't bullshit me. You can't tell me you ain't ever had that little devil sitting on your shoulder before.
No,
You're full of shit.
No.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna try and tell me you're an angel? That's you know what? You can believe that.
Now, I have one thing that you don't. A strong belief in angels.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say, if you say you have morals and I don't, well, I don't have them. That's for sure. Listen,
Steve's not even going to try to debate it.
No, I went through a whole semester in college in an ethics class only to find out I had no morals. listen, I'll tell you how it is. I ain't afraid to tell you. Now, listen, you guys are the greatest. I love your show. I thank you guys for coming on.
Well,
Chuck, you're the man. Folks, shooters and prospectors.
We like that very much. Always do enjoy you and your stories. And good to see Frank on tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the important part is just having fun.
Get him back all tuned up. And
oh, Chuck, are you going out to this event coming? What's this one?
DTH.
Detecting the Heartland.
No, that's not it. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, so when fill us in on that.
That's in May.
In May.
17th, 18th, 19th, Josh, if I got that right.
And where is it?
I think so.
Where is
Iowa, I believe.
Out in Waverly, near Waverly, Iowa.
What the hell? I thought Iowa was nothing but cornfields.
This is a Girl Scout camp that has been in use for over 100 years.
You're not supposed to be there when there's Girl Scouts there.
Well, there won't be any Girl Scout there. There's just a bunch of old guys with metal detectors.
Oh, okay.
They're having we're going to have KG and Ringy there.
Do we recognize a state called Iowa by any chance?
Yeah.
We do?
Yeah. And myself, Frank Juarez, the wine guy's going to be there. Frankie will be there.
Chucky, did you know? Listen,
Bart's Dig Crew.
Did I tell you I'm going back to Alaska?
You going back up
again?
We got you ain't going to believe this because Chuck, I know you'll never invite me to your place more than once. Whether it's just once, you won't even invite me once. We got invited to go back again. We're going. We go to Anchorage.
Right.
We're going out in July. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm taking there's gonna be me, my wife, my granddaughter, my brother, because we go with my brother.
Cool.
And his son and new granddaughter is going. We got a whole bunch of us going. I don't need to tell you, man. Alaska to me is just the place that my blood pressure pumps like half when I'm at.
Phenomenal scenery.
Oh my God! And it's just
got a day trip for you then. If you're in Anchorage,
Alaskan Mint.
I want to go. Yeah, well, that's right. I was telling you about it. Yeah,
another one for you that you can go to Crow Creek Mine, which is about. You follow the road out the park.
We drove. I think we drove on a little windy road, and all of a sudden you're going around this curve, and you see the sign. You're like, "What was that?"
Yep.
It's Alaska. They're all a little windy road.
You go in and for like $20, you get a work material, teach you how to pan, teach you how to sluice. They have a real nice operation there. And also there's the Portage Glacier access there. That's down on what they call the Turnagain Arm, where the boar tide comes in and goes out.
Well, I got to tell you something.
That board tide, those guys are nuts. They will go and surf that. Of course, they get a wave that's 5 miles running.
And where's that? What's that water called?
Turnagain Arm.
Oh, because the place we go, the people we stay, they have this boat that they surf behind, a wake boat.
Yeah.
We drive across the lake and it puts out a wake. My granddaughter was trying it. Of course, I was creating the wake more than the boat was. I didn't try it, but we want to do the Alaska Mint, and I'll talk to them about if we go near there to try. So because dude, panning gold is so boring to me. That's boring.
I didn't say it wasn't boring.
I don't have the patience to pan gold.
It's work.
I try. Like I don't want to do this. I don't know why. I just didn't want to do it.
You know what? Every major mine in the world, they'll go in and they'll grind up and they'll pull the rock out. I'm talking tonnage. You can't imagine. And the finalization, they still come out and they have to pan it out.
I know. Yeah, I know. I don't want to pan gold. It got to be an easier method.
And it's just the way it is.
I want to get to the Alaskan Mint. I got a feeling I'm going to wind up blowing money there. Like, yeah, buy gold.
You love it.
You're going to love it.
You love it in there. And there's things that are affordable. Then you go over to the left side at the big case and stand there, and they start bringing gold nuggets out about this big
I
around.
know, and I got a bad. You know how some people have a sweet tooth and they buy cannolis like that,
And they've got, hey, they've
that's
got.
what happened to me. That's what happened when I went into Mel Fisher's museum. I'm like, just take my credit card. Just don't tell me. Just take it and bring me up.
Right.
So, and you also have a trip to you go to Alaska every year, and I know you bring people. I know Ronnie's gone. I wish I could have. I really do.
We're heading up again in July. We've got late July, 31st through about the 13th of August. Most of
the time, dude. That's
my guy.
Yeah.
Well,
and he's already booking for next year.
Easily say in the last 4 or 5 trips at today's prices, our crews have found a little bit over probably $250,000 worth of gold.
Yeah, I know somebody's been. The last trip you had was really good. Last trip you had was good. So, do you have any openings for this one?
I did have, and I just closed it the other day. And the one guy's still hinging on me. I don't know. He's already paid his money up front. We'll just see what he does. He's scared of traveling right now.
You know, I don't know if I told you this, but the people we see, the relatives of relatives, work up on. Is it called the North Face?
Okay.
And they do oil.
The North Face means just that.
They work in the pipeline, and they're telling me it's minus 50 degrees. And what they do is they work for 2 weeks straight. They go up, they get flown up. They work 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and I think they're making really good money.
That corporation is called Jessica. My brother-in-law runs a flying service that's based out of Fairbanks and Anchorage, and they shuttle those guys up.
Shuttle them up, yeah.
Equipment, and they take care of the pipeline all the way down from up there down, and they're drilling, and things are booming again because Mr. Trump reopened up that pipeline again.
Listen, I want to tell you something. These guys were some of the nicest, down-to-earth guys. They live off the grid. They would rather live. They got houses in the middle of the woods. They hunt their food. I was eating moose burgers, elk dogs, and stuff. They went. I didn't go. I could have went halibut fishing. They went out halibut fishing twice. Fresh halibut we were eating right off the grill. And it was delicious. The moose, I know you know the animals. The animals are incredible.
Good stuff. Now, here's a little tidbit for you. You're going to ride the Alaska Railroad?
No, we're doing family stuff. So, no, none of that.
That is the last train in the United States that you can go out, flag it. They'll stop and pick you up, called whistle stops. They do it. People walk out to the rail line. Boom, boom, boom. They'll stop. You get on, you pay your fare and head.
But is it the last train that'll take you to Clarksville? That's what I want to know.
There you go.
Whenever I talk to anybody, if you ever have a chance to go to Alaska and you don't go, you're a fool. Because I was like,
when you going up?
Early July. I was thinking maybe what I'll do is I'll just go from Anchorage to Nome and wait for you, and you take me detecting.
There you go.
That would be great, dude. Actually, we're going early. We're going the 2nd through the 10th.
That's good. That's a good timing up there.
Because I'll tell you what, if I was going to be there when you were going, I might have just jumped on your trip because my airfare would be paid.
There you go.
That's most of the price.
I gotta get my miles up.
Yo, I got great prices. They were cheaper this time. $876 a person, and I think they were $1,100 a person.
More expensive this time. I don't know why.
Well, I don't know. Ours were cheaper, and it was before the gas went up, so I locked in.
Yeah,
$900 a person to go, and I think it was $1,100 or maybe I think it remembered almost close to $4,000 for the 3 of us last time. So yeah, I can't wait. And the sun is up all night.
Do you have brother-in-law that lives up there? Or
no, it's my brother's sister. It's hard to explain. He's my half brother. He's got a sister on the other side of the family. So it's relative of a relative.
All right.
And we just love it.
I've had a blast up there, and I've traveled
Relaxing.
all the state. It's
Relaxing.
all
No,
places I want to go. I
if
mean,
you,
2/3 the size of the lower 48, for God's sakes.
but just being there, and you know what people don't know is there's Alaska is a mecca. They don't advertise it, but it's a mecca for activities. People are going to Alaska to do fishing, hunting, hiking, mountain climbing, metal detecting, you name it. And they're going there in droves. You can hire a guide to do anything out there. You can do whatever you want out there. And it's just awesome.
Yeah, you can drive from Anchorage, go around the turn again, go up over to Seward.
I was in Seward, loved it.
It's gorgeous.
Huh?
Gorgeous place.
Yeah, you know what else? I liked Homer. Oh, dude, I was down on the docks on Homer, right? Because I wanted to see the Deadliest Catches boats, and they weren't there. But the docks, there was all these people, and I'm walking around, and I would just walk up to a random boat and go be like, "I'm your new greenhorn," and they're like, "Come on!" I had a ball. Was what we did last time was we got in really nice motor homes, and that's when we went out to the campsite and hung out with these people that live off the grid, and I had a ball, man. I had a freaking ball, and if we get to do that again, I loved it. They do a lot of RVing up there. The people that even live there, they'll hop in their RVs and they'll drive away for the weekend, and it's amazing. Amazing. I don't have to tell you. I'm just trying to tell other people.
Oh, it is. I enjoy it. It's always made me smile up there, and taking the wife, and we've camped and stayed in hotels and cabins and different things like that up there. And her brother lives there, and we go mess around, and we've got to meet. I mean, I've been up there and watched the Brits come into Talkeetna and get ready to climb up Denali. And
the what come into Tanika? I love that town. What did you say comes?
Denali?
No, Tanika, Talkeetna.
Oh.
You said something comes in there?
Talkeetna. It's just
right.
Yeah, that is the jump off point for all the major assaults to climb Mount McKinley.
The what to climb?
Mount McKinley.
Right, I know, because we were at Talkeetna, and I love that, like an old Western town you're walking through. It's really cool. We didn't make it to Denali, and I'd love to go there too if we do, because we're right there. I mean, but Talkeetna was a really neat little town. That was nice.
Yeah, the train's in there now. It didn't when Jill and I first went up there, but while I was there, and Jill, we get there, I'm talking with the Brits. They're flying up to the 14,000-foot landing site, taking equipment up for the climbers.
Oh.
Sitting there, and then the BBC's filming all this. Some major climber from England's going to do this. Anyway, there's, these photographer shades and all that kind of stuff. And I'm looking at it, and Jill and I, we were in the Talkeetna Inn, and it's a big square building. If you've been there, you've seen it. It's the
right
part of town. It's a bar.
Right.
And I'm looking around, and here's all these photographers and gals. Guess what was going on that day? Playboy was there, and they were shooting the girls of Alaska. I'm dead serious. We talked with them. All the gals that night, including wife Jill, got to go over. They were in background shots in the Talkeetna Inn, and they did makeovers on them all. They sat there, and they were having toddies, having a blast. Kicked all the men out.
They better hope that ain't happening when I get there.
It was fun.
I'll be in a little bit of trouble.
Jill acquiesced and let me buy a Playboy suit.
You know what would happen is I could see this now. I could see they're doing a shoot, right? And the guy's behind the camera, and someone goes, "Who's that old fat bald guy? We get the fat bald guy out of here. Get him out of here." Here I am in the background.
Timing is everything in life, Steve-O. You get there at the right time, make the most of it.
Ain't that the truth? Well, guys, listen, greatest night. Thanks. We stayed a little late, but I don't care. You know what? Great time. Thanks again.
Sometimes you got to.
Yeah, well, you know what? Just stay friends with Detect America. That's all I can say, because you guys are the best. And we're going to say goodnight.
Good night. Thanks for having
Josh.
me. Everybody have a great one. Everybody out there, hey, Phil, I saw you on there, and Tom, and who else was there? All our local. Oh, Barb was in the house.
Yeah, a lot of them showed up.
Yeah, they showed up.
I don't know how the Bortner snuck in, but I'll deal with that later.
They did.
Hopefully, they all gave it a like.
I told someone to block them. Who cares?
All right.
Josh, say goodnight, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Good night, buddy.
All right. We'll talk to you soon, big guy.
We'll see you, Steve.
All right. Good night. And there you have it, folks. I don't know. Try, do a good show, have a great time. And I'm out. Appreciate everyone being here. And you know what? I do. I appreciate everybody's support. So let's have a good night and go out and detect.